In October 24, I'll be attempting my first sub 3 hour marathon. And I haven't booked a race yet. So in this video, I'll be talking about which race I'm looking to book. What are the fast ones, what are the flat ones, what has good temperatures, and maybe even whether I book 2 races instead of 1. So let's get into it. So to this point, well, I've attempted 6 marathons, I've finished 5. I was London, Manchester, Great Welsh, Sussex and Yorkshire. Now all those marathons were in March, April time, apart from the last one, which is in October. And the reason for that is because I've realised that I'm not good at running in hot weather, and there's a fair chance of hot weather in spring, and I just don't want to put myself at risk at that. I've settled on an October autumn marathon for that reason. So what are the options then? So, quick disclaimer, Berlin, brilliant race I'm told, never done it but would love to, but it's just a little bit early for me to be confident about the weather. So yeah, September time could be a bit risky with temperature. Chicago, another brilliant flat fast marathon, but for this one at least I want to do something a bit closer to home. So home for me is Hertfordshire in the UK, so I'm really looking at either a race somewhere in the UK or maybe one in Europe. I've talked about my running journey in previous video, watch this one if you haven't seen that yet, and my initial thoughts were Chester Marathon, but the more that I've looked at it, I've realised it's quite similar to Yorkshire in profile. It's quite up and down overall, even though they are billed as fast races in the UK. And I've just decided that actually I do want something that's a bit flatter, most likely, because I did find it tough in those last few miles at Yorkshire. So what are the options then? Well, one that I've started to seriously consider is the Abingdon Marathon in Oxfordshire. Now this one, I've got to say a massive shout out to everyone in the sub 3 marathon Facebook group. I joined it about a couple of months ago, and it's, you know, it's open to anyone, and so much advice in there, so many helpful comments and experiences shared. I'll put a link to the group in the description below if you want to check it out. But I asked the question, you know, what are people's favourite marathons? And for the UK, and this is for a fast time I might add, Abingdon just kept coming out time and time again. So I've had a proper look at that, and it's flat, you know, it's about as flat as you can get it in the UK for that time of year. And when talking about course profile, there's only really one major hill, that's about 80 feet, and that's right at the end, that's the last kind of 0.2 of the race. So it's definitely got that potential. 17% of finishers this year, I think, or whether it was last year, finishing under sub 3 hours. So I'd be confident I'd be running with, you know, a strong group of runners that all have the same aim. That's a big motivation for me. But on the flip side, it's one of the smaller marathons, so that does mean there's not going to be the crowds, there's not going to be that race day atmosphere that I've really loved in some of the other marathons I've done. And that could be tough, you know. I do feed off the crowds and I really do enjoy, you know, sort of that interaction, so whether that's the right one for me, I'm not sure. It leads me to looking abroad, and another one that was really highly recommended in this sub 3 Facebook group was Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and that one really is flat. You know, there's very smooth up and down. It's not pancake, which I'm told is often better, because if it's just completely flat at the time, sometimes that does take more of a toll because you're using the same muscles all of the time. So in terms of course profile, it's good. Another plus with Amsterdam is it's going to have a brilliant atmosphere. You know, it's a big city race. It's going to be, you know, well supported. You get to start and finish in the Olympic Stadium, I think it is, so that would be really cool. So that's definitely tempting. You've got pacers as well. You know there's going to be a big pack of people, all with the same goal. But then on the flip side, means it is going to be busier. Will it be harder to get into my running stride? Maybe a little bit, something to factor in. And the big thing is the travel. So I'm fortunate that I've got an airport near me in Bedfordshire, and it's only an hour and 15 the flight, I think, so it's not far. Time difference is only 1 hour as well, but travel is, you know, always a factor in it. I've never actually run abroad before, so that's going to cause extra stresses and, yeah, probably take it out of me in the days leading up. You know, waiting around in the airport, you know, it all does add up. And then the third option, which is a bit left field, is the Stevenage Marathon. Now the Stevenage Marathon only happens once every 10 years. So in 2024, this will be its 5th edition. And so it's run by my running club, Felons Valley Spartans, and I really want to be part of the race, if I'm honest. Like, I've done the half marathon 5 times. You may have seen this video about a sub 1 hour 30 attempt I did there recently, and so it's close to my heart. I know the marshals out on the course will be fantastic, you know, friendly faces, people I know cheering me on. You can't really underestimate the power of that. But, and I know this from the Stevenage half, it's going to be an up and down course. It's going to be a challenge. It's probably going to be 2 laps. It was 10 years ago at least. I've got to run with the race director tomorrow, so maybe I'll find out whether he's going for, say, 2 laps or 4. But I'm just really not sure which one to go for. The case of both Abingdon and Stevenage, obviously. I probably could just drive there on the day. All that stress of the travel isn't there, so that can't be underestimated either. So the extra difficult thing is all these races are on the same day. They're not, the dates haven't been confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure they're all going to be the 20th of October 2024. So it's not a case of, you know, them being spread out, say the start of October and one early November. If I'm going to do any of them, I can only do one, which then has made me start thinking, do I want to book 2 marathons instead of 1? You've got the Valencia Marathon. Again, the date isn't out yet for next year, but it looks like it will be the Sunday the 1st of December, and that's actually about 5-6 weeks after any of those 3 marathons I've been discussing. So that would be a good amount of time to recover and be ready to go again if I don't get sub 3 at that first attempt. And if I do, it's just one of those where I get to really enjoy it in the Spanish city and not worry about trying to go sub 3. So yeah, that does appeal. One thing I have been looking at though, temperature, even in December, is about 17 degrees. It's a bit on the warm side for me, so I am gonna have to consider whether that is the right call to make. And on the flip side of that though, the race does start at 8:15 AM, so you know, hopefully I'll be done before it really does start warming up, if it is one of those warmer days. So I've got to shout out a few other suggestions that I've had, particularly across Europe. We've got Frankfurt, Eindhoven, they're both meant to be really flat. Also closer to home, you've got Dublin That's a little bit more up and down. I think that's a bit more like Yorkshire and Chester in the UK, but it's another option which I haven't ruled out yet. So I've got a lot of thinking to do basically. I do probably want to maybe book something in quite soon, particularly say if I am gonna go for something like Amsterdam or Valencia, because the prices do just go up and up, and you know, we're all on a budget, right? So just got to factor that in. What I'd really love to know is, what do you think? What would you do if you've done any of these marathons before, or other ones I haven't mentioned? Then just let me know in the comments below what you would recommend, what you would do. I'd love to hear it. So a quick training update as well. So I'm doing about 11 miles today, sort of 13, 14 tomorrow. That'll take me up to 40 miles for the week. So again, just building that mileage up after a bit of a down week last week. Had a really good session on Tuesday. So I was out with my club doing intervals. It was 5-minute intervals, and I was averaging, well, first couple of ones I did sort of 6:10 and 6-minute mile, and then managed to bring that down to the low 5:40s. So that's about 3:30 per kilometre. And yeah, I was feeling really good, really strong. Did 6 of those reps, and it's always nice when you upload your run to Strava and you see all achievements and personal records as they are. And so I've done that route a few times, and it's great to see that speed, that improvement coming. So really pleased with that. I've done a few easy runs since then, but today's run has been tough actually. I work for a voice and rights charity called Voiceability, working in communications, and the week just gone we've had Advocacy Awareness Week, really busy week. And to be honest, I'm really good with my hours. It's a great charity to work for in that respect, but just had an awful lot to do this week, and that has affected I think my stress levels, and also the amount of sleep I've got. Went into this run today feeling quite tired. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm just struggling a bit with my words, so yeah, forgive me, this isn't as slick as I'd like it to be, but yeah, that's the realities. Some days are easier than others, right? So yeah, just got through today. Had the added difficulty of not bringing the right mount out for the camera, so I had to kind of run out and back to get that. Just indicative, I think, of my mental state, just tired, not thinking things through quite so well. But don't want to end on that note, obviously. So quick Oscar speech. I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far, who's liked any of my videos, who's sent me any comments or encouragement. I really appreciate it. One of the last videos I did, which was a week of training, sort of base building for my sub-3 hour marathon, you can watch that here. Yeah, that's really taken off, so I'm super grateful. And just, yeah, I'd like to say thanks to everyone. And if you are new around here, please do consider subscribing to the channel. Give this video a like. Follow me on Instagram and Strava, NRG Runs. Yeah, as I say, if you've got any ideas on that marathon, any suggestions, any thoughts, please let me know in the comments. I'll see you next time. Cheers.